Trends yesterday you read then the woman Amit's mother and the woman who was actually sitting who was standing with the boy who met Sati's mother actually, and the woman who was with the narrator at the railway platform was bidding Satish and Arun goodbye, actually bidding them on the in the train they were going, but those two women were not going from there. We will see further what happens now. I let her take my hand in hers. The narrator is telling you, Anur, that he has let the woman take his hands in her hands, but I could think of nothing to say. At that time in these type of situations it's quite slightly a emotional one, so sometimes for the child it becomes very difficult to say or speak something in these sort of situations. So I was conscious of Sati's mother staring at us with hard, beady eyes, and I found myself hating her with a firm, unreasoning hate. Actually, when the woman and Arun was actually meeting with each other, they were bidding the final bid. Sati's mother was actually staring at whom? Sati's mother was actually staring at Arun and the lady, and she was staring with her hard, beady eyes. Here, student, actually, the beady, means the round eyes of a person. A small, round, and gleamy, a small, round, and gleaming eye of a person is generally referred with the word beady. So, Sati's mother with her beady eyes staring at Arun and that lady. And narrator actually found as a narrator actually start hating her because of this. Not because of this, but before also for whatever things she told Arun for all those things. Actually, he started to hate Sati's mother. The guard walking up the platform blowing his whistle for the train to leave. Now, the guard who was walking on the platform blew his whistle, and it was an indication that now the train is about to leave. Then the narrator, what did the narrator do? Narrator actually looked straight into the eyes of the woman who held my hand, and she smiled in a gentle, understanding way. Actually, Arun and the woman, the stranger woman who met him on the railway platform, they both gave a smile to each other. They just smiled in a gentle understanding. They just gave a smile to each other because the train was about to leave, and then the narrator actually leaped out of the window, and then he actually put his lips to her cheek and kissed her, for bidding the final goodbye. Narrator Arun actually uh, gave a kiss also on the cheek of the woman, as just to show the love and care they have formed between each other just in the few moments. The carriage jostled forward and she drew her hand away. Now, as the carriage, the bogie of the train started to jostle forth, jostle forward, student, jolted forward, student means started to move ahead. So the woman who was keeping her hand on the window of the train, she just took her hand away, and then actually Satish told her mother, goodbye, mother." And as the train began to move slowly out of the station, Satish and his mother waved to each other as well. And they both said to each other goodbye. Actually, the narrator told to the woman goodbye. He gave a final bid by saying goodbye, and by a pause he said mother also, to prove in front of the Sati's mother that she was really her mother. I didn't wave or shout, but sat still in front of the window, gazing at the woman on the platform. Actually, the narrator didn't say anything to the woman. He just remains sitting in front of the seat, in front of his window seat. He just gazed at the woman on the platform. Gazed means just looked at the woman. Sati's mother was talking to her, but she didn't appear to be listening. At that time, Sati's mother was actually talking to her, but she was not concentrating on her sentences. She was fully focused on Arun. She was looking at me as the train took me away. She stood there on the busy platform, a pale, sweet woman in white, and I watched her until she was lost in the miling crowd. Actually, students, you can understand what the situation is, but the main thing that here, the train actually left Arun just staring in her direction, just looked at her until she somewhere just lost in the crowd. And student, these sort of situations sometimes become emotional for a child, but the question that raised here is why and how Arun got so much attached with a stranger on a railway platform, but this stranger was actually a woman and who was quite, you know, you in a way you can say a very caring and loving woman who always helps those who are in need or who need assistance. So actually, student, the word miling here has been used here. In miling shows that in a round, in a crowd of something, when something it becomes very confusing to spot something in a confused mass. Confused mass is a gathering, is a huge gathering, and if something is lost in the gathering of people or things, then a miling word is used. So, student, with this chapter, a woman on platform 8 has come to an end. So tomorrow we will discuss its question and answer, and then we will move to the next lesson.